The biggest mistake I've ever made was going back to what broke me. And I'm still carrying a scar on my face because of it. Every time I look in the mirror, I see a reminder of the moment I ignored the warning signs, a reminder of when I went back to something I already knew was hurting me, a reminder that sometimes the thing you miss the most is the very thing God was trying to rescue you from. And I know somebody watching this right now can relate. Maybe your scar isn't on your face. Maybe your scar is emotional. Maybe your scar is the anxiety you carry because of what someone did to you. Maybe your scar is the trust issues you have because someone you love betrayed you. Maybe your scar is the fear you have because you stayed somewhere God was telling you to leave. But today I want to remind you of something. Just because you survived a place doesn't mean you're supposed to return to it. Some doors close because God is protecting you. Some people leave because God is separating you. Some chapters end because God is writing something greater. But sometimes we make the mistake of looking back. We start remembering the good moments and forgetting the pain that made us leave. We start missing what was familiar instead of protecting what God gave us, our peace. One of the hardest things to accept is sometimes that thing that broke you was something you once prayed for. Sometimes it's a friendship you thought would last forever. Sometimes it's a relationship you thought was sent by God. Sometimes it was a workplace you thought would be your opportunity. Sometimes it was a city you thought would be your new beginning. But everything that looks like a blessing isn't always meant to stay forever. Some things are lessons. Some people are seasons. Some places are temporary assignments. And when God says it's time to move, we must trust Him. Because when you keep going back to what broke you, you delay the healing God is trying to give you. Let's talk about friendships. Because sometimes the people who hurt us the most are not strangers. They're people we trusted, people we laughed with, people we defended, people we loved. And sometimes we stay connected because we remember who they used to be. But you cannot build your future with someone who keeps destroying your present. There are friendships you have to release, not because you hate them, not because you want revenge, but because your peace matters. I learned that forgiveness does not mean giving someone unlimited access to hurt you again. You can forgive someone and still walk away. Jesus forgave people, but he also knew when to walk away from certain environments. Even Jesus stepped away from crowds. Even Jesus went away to pray. Even Jesus understood that protecting his purpose mattered. And sometimes protecting your purpose means protecting your circle. Now let's talk about something harder, family. Because people will tell you, but that's your family. And yes, family is important, but your mental health matters too. Your peace matters too. Your healing matters too. Sometimes family wounds cut deeper because those are the people who were supposed to protect us. Sometimes you grow up around criticism instead of encouragement. Sometimes you grow up feeling like you have to prove your worth. Sometimes you spend years trying to earn love that should have been given freely. But I want you to understand something. Your identity doesn't come from how someone treated you. Your identity comes from God. The Bible says in Psalm 139 that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means before anyone rejected you, God accepted you. Before anyone walked away, God was there before anyone made you feel like you weren't enough. God already called you valuable. And sometimes healing means creating distance, setting boundaries, and allowing God to heal places people damaged. Let's talk about jobs and workplaces. Because sometimes we think we need to stay somewhere just because we need the paycheck. But there are places that will pay your bills while draining your soul. There are environments where you wake up every morning already exhausted. Places where you constantly feel undervalued. Places where you lose yourself trying to prove your worth. And I understand. Walking away is scary. Starting over is scary. Leaving something familiar is scary. But sometimes God will remove you from a place because He knows staying there will stop you from becoming who He created you to be. Don't confuse being comfortable with being called. A prison cell is familiar too, but nobody is meant to live there forever. Sometimes it's not even a person, it's a place, a city, a house, a neighborhood, a location where too many painful memories happened. And sometimes we return because we think maybe things will be different this time. But sometimes God brought you out because He needed you away. Think about Lot's wife. God was delivering them from destruction, but she looked back. And sometimes we do the same thing. God is saying, move forward, but we're looking behind us. God is saying, I have something new, but we're holding on to something old. You cannot walk in your promise while constantly running back to your pain. My scar reminds me of something important. It reminds me that every choice has consequences. It reminds me that ignoring your intuition can cost you. It reminds me that sometimes love, loyalty, and memories can make you overlook things you shouldn't ignore. But my scars also remind me of God's grace because I'm still here. I survived. I didn't stay broken. The thing that happened to me became a part of my testimony. And that's what God does. He takes things that were meant to destroy you and turns them into something that gives someone else hope. Your scars are not proof that you lost. Your scars are proof that you survived. So why did we go back? Why did we return to things that hurt us? Sometimes it's because we miss the good memories. Sometimes it's because we're lonely. Sometimes it's because starting over feels harder than staying stuck. Sometimes it's because we hope people will finally become who we wanted them to be. But we can't keep waiting for someone to become a person they have no desire to be. You cannot keep sacrificing your peace hoping someone would change. You cannot keep shrinking yourself to make someone comfortable. God did not create you to live in survival mode forever. I want to encourage you today. If God removes something from your life, trust Him. If God closed the door, trust Him. If God separated you from someone, trust Him. Because God sees what you cannot see. Sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes delay is preparation. Sometimes loss is actually God making room. The same God who brought you out will lead you forward. You are not walking into your future alone. God is already there. So today, make a decision. Don't go back to what broke you. Don't go back to the person who destroyed your confidence. Don't go back to the friendship that stole your joy. Don't go back to the workplace that made you forget your worth. Don't go back to the city that holds the pain God delivered you from. Don't go back just because it's familiar. Choose peace, choose healing, choose yourself, choose God. Because the same God who healed you from yesterday's pain can build your tomorrow. Your story is not over. Your scars are not your identity. Your past doesn't have permission to control your future. The enemy wants you looking behind, but God is calling you forward. Forward into healing, forward into purpose, forward into peace, forward into the life He created you to live. And if you needed this reminder today, remember, you can miss something and still know it wasn't good for you. You can love someone and still walk away. You can forgive someone and still choose peace. You can remember the past without returning to it. Because sometimes the greatest act of faith is not holding on. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is letting go. Don't go back to what broke you. God is taking you somewhere new. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.